everyone. Today I'm going to demonstrate how to make the Jiffy lemon cookies. They are delicious. A lot of our teachers here and our students like them. So I'll be teaching you that, and hopefully you'll try making them at school or at home. So the first step is number one, preheat the oven to 375 degrees. So I've already done that. I've turned my oven on to 375 so it can be getting hot in there. So it'll be warm, it'll be hot when I put the cookies in later. All right, step two, melt the butter in the microwave for 1 minute in a microwave safe mixing bowl. Okay, so a microwave safe mixing bowl would be a large glass mixing bowl, or if you're at home and you don't have a large glass one, you could use a plastic bowl, or you could melt the butter in a small cereal bowl and then put it into your mixing bowl. But since we have glass mixing bowls here, we're just gonna put it right into our glass mixing bowl. So I look at the top, and the top says I need 2 tablespoons of butter melted. So if I was at home and I had stick butter, I would use a rubber scraper and my tablespoon. I could pack that butter into my tablespoon, level it off, and put that in the recipe and do that twice. But here at school, I like to buy the stick butter, which has the measurements printed right on the side of the wrapper, so it's very convenient. So I need 2 tablespoons. So I look at the wrapper, I find where it says 2 tablespoons, and then I can cut right through the paper right on that line. Okay, and then I will open this up and put that right into my glass mixing bowl. Now, just a tip, I like to keep the paper and wrap it over the end like that. And now I can save this and use that for another recipe. Okay, so I'm going to melt this for 1 minute. So I'm gonna bring this over to my microwave. And I'm gonna set this for 1 minute. Now, as I've talked about before with the microwave, what's happening right now are those little tiny invisible microwaves are traveling through the glass, hitting the butter, and making the molecules in the butter vibrate and rub against each other, and that's producing heat that is melting the butter. So that's why it's important that you have a microwave safe bowl, because those microwaves can travel right through glass, and they can travel right through paper. They can also travel through plastic, but you have to be aware that plastic can melt. But microwaves cannot travel through metal. So that's why you can't put anything metal in the microwave, because the waves just keep hitting it instead of traveling through it, and it can cause a spark and cause a fire. So right now, those waves are traveling through the glass and making the molecules rub against each other and heat up, and we're melting the butter. Nice and melted. So now I'm going to go to step 3. 3 says spray a baking sheet with cooking spray. Okay, so I'm going to use my cooking spray. I am using what's called an airbake cookie sheet or an insulated cookie sheet. And what it is it's a 2-layer cookie sheet. So that way there's a top layer, there's a bottom layer, and in between there's a layer of air. It keeps your cookie bottoms from getting burnt. If you've ever had a homemade cookie and you looked at the top of it and it looked delicious, but then you turned it over and the bottom was burnt, that's because it was cooked on a 1-layer cookie sheet. When you use an air bake or an insulated cookie sheet with 2 layers, the bottoms never burn. All right, so we're gonna do a light layer of cooking spray back and forth, hold it about a can away. Okay, that will help the cookies not to stick. And now we're on step 4. Add the cake mix, the egg, and the lemon extract, and mix well with a rubber scraper. So I look to the top, I need 1 Jiffy golden yellow cake mix. Okay, so they sell these right by the cake mix. You cannot use any cake mix for this. It has to be the Jiffy one or the generic one that is this size, like at Aldi's, but it has to be the small one like this. A regular yellow cake mix is too big. This has less flour and other ingredients in it. So you want one of these, and we're going to add the whole thing. This has our flour, sugar, our baking soda, and other ingredients in it that we would normally put in cookies that we made totally from homemade, okay? And next, I'm going to add, it says add cake mix, egg, and lemon extract. So I need 1 egg. Of course, I am going to tap that on my counters on something flat so I don't push shell up in there. And do a couple taps, and then we'll pull that apart and add our egg. If you accidentally do get a piece of shell in there, of course you can use your large piece of shell to scoop it out. Okay, now I just touched uncooked egg or raw egg, so I'm going to walk over to my sink and wash my hands because there's bacteria on the shell and on the egg itself, so we want to wash that off with soap. Okay. Dry with paper towels. And then the last thing I'll do is add the vanilla extract. The lemon extract, not vanilla, the lemon extract for lemon cookies. Now, this is not lemon juice. This is much more flavorful, more powerful than regular lemon juice. Lemon juice would not give it the lemon flavor that we want with this cookie. So you have to buy this special, it's called lemon extract. Now, if you go to the store to buy it, you're not gonna see this giant container of it, this really large container. You're probably gonna find a lemon extract that's about this big. And that's all you need, because you don't need much of it. I buy a large container because I use it with all my classes through the year. But at Walmart or Kroger, at your grocery store, you just need a small one. So I need 1 teaspoon lemon extract. Now remember, don't pour it over the bowl, because if you spill, this is ruined, okay? So you want to pour it off to the side, up to the top the best that you can, and then put that into your recipe, 1 teaspoon. Okay, and I am going to mix that with a rubber scraper. So I want to make sure I get this well blended. So the rubber scraper is nice because you can really scrape the sides of the container and scrape the bottom and make sure you get everything blended in. This becomes a pretty thick dough, so you really need to kind of work that flour into the dough and get it all incorporated. This recipe is going to make 16 cookies, so we'll be putting 4 across and 4 down. And just keep kind of pressing it sort of into the bowl. That helps kind of break up that flour that's in the cake mix and get it all incorporated. All right, once you see that everything is mixed well, then kind of scrape it into one pile of dough like that. Okay, and set that off to the side. Now I'm on step 5. 5 says drop by spoonfuls onto the cookie sheet. So I've already sprayed it, and this is gonna be a 2-person job. So what I'm gonna have you do is one person is gonna work here making cookies, and one person is gonna be here to do the cookies, okay? But for today, since it's just me, I'm just gonna put it like this. All right, so you're gonna take about this much dough, about a tablespoon. Use 1 spoon to grab it and 1 spoon to push it off. And you're gonna put 4 across and 4 down. You want to try to make them all about the same size, because small cookies cook really fast and it could get done early and then burn. And large cookies take longer to cook, so they might not get done when all the other ones are done. So try to make them about the same size. And like I said, you're gonna put 4 across and 4 down. If you have extra dough at the end, then you can just add it to the small ones. Okay. 4 across, 4 down works nicely. And when you put them on the cookie sheet, make sure you don't put them too close to the edge of the cookie sheet because these cookies do spread out. And if they spread out, we don't want them to fall off of the cookie sheet. Okay, let's see if I can get any more dough here. Okay. So it looks like I made some of them a little too big because I didn't get my full 16. So what I will do is take a little bit of dough from the larger ones until I get 16. This one. Now if you have extra dough after you make your 16, do not throw it away. Just add it to the smaller ones. So you want 16 cookies, all about this size. Okay, now I'm on step 8. 8 says bake for 9 to 11 minutes on an airbake cookie sheet or 7 to 9 minutes on a regular cookie sheet. So we have an airbake one, so it says bake for 9 to 11 minutes. So I'm gonna bring it over here to my stove. Now, we always set the timer for the lowest possible time. So it said 9 to 11 minutes. So I'm gonna set the timer for 9, and that's where I'm gonna do a check on it. But to put it in the oven, you're gonna put on your oven mitts. You're gonna open the door all the way down, okay? Now you're gonna be especially careful of this area right here that you don't bump your arm on it or anywhere inside the door or touch the rack. If you have your oven mitts on, then you're pretty safe. So I'm gonna put it in this way because it fits better than putting it in like this. So put it in this way. And then we're gonna shut the door, okay? Now I'm gonna set my timer for 9 minutes. Oh, for, what was 11 minutes? 9 to 11, so I want to do for 9. So I'm gonna push timer set up to 9, and then start, okay? Now, when this timer goes off, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna open the oven door a little bit and take a peek. What I'm looking for is that the bottom edges of the cookie are turning golden brown. The top can still look doughy, and that's fine, that's what we want. We just wanna make sure the edges on the bottom are turning golden brown, like very, very lightly. If they're done, you're gonna open the door all the way, use your 2 oven mitts, take it out, and put it on top of the stove. Then what you're gonna do is 2 people are gonna take the oven mitts and they're gonna fan them like this. And they're gonna fan them for about 2 minutes on the cookie sheet so that they can start to solidify and cool. Then, here at school, we're gonna put out 4 paper towels, 1 for each person, and you're gonna use a pancake turner to lift them off and put them on the paper towels. When you put them on the paper towels, do not set them on top of each other. Each cookie needs its own space on the paper towel to cool properly. If you're at home and you have a cooling rack, you could cool them on there too. But, excuse me, we're gonna be cleaning up so the paper towels work well for us here. While they're cooling, you are gonna wash your your baking sheet, you're gonna wash your pancake turner, and you're gonna dry out your sink and clean up your whole kitchen. And then you're gonna call me over to be graded. After I grade you, then you can put your cookies in the Ziploc baggies to take with you. But you wanna make sure to leave them cooling as long as possible, to the last minute of class. That way they'll be nice and solid when you put them into the baggie. Because if you put really warm cookies in a baggie without letting them cool first, they just kind of turn to mush in the bag. So let them cool as long as possible. Well, I hope that you were paying attention and you enjoyed this video and you try making them at home. Thank you for watching.